Welcome back to another Q&A session here where we answer all the questions that come in from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and everything in between. So the question today we have is, can I drink and still lose fat, or what are the effects of alcohol and fat loss kind of combined? Really simple. I'm gonna make this as fast as you can. Yes, you can drink booze every day and still be really lean and be in good shape and be relatively healthy. I don't see a huge problem with having a glass of like red wine a day if that's your thing, or even if it's a beer a day, go nuts. It depends on if you guys are being honest with how many drinks you're having. So the example I give all the time is when people come into our space, or they come in on a coaching program on the internet, and we ask them, one of the questions is how many drinks do you have per week, and someone will say, well, I have 5 drinks per week. We automatically double it, and we just assume they're having 10 drinks per week. And because we're crazy, but if you guys go to a restaurant, typically you get a pour that's like an average size. Most people, when they're pouring drinks at their house, typically tend to double it, or maybe the first drink they're keeping it real, but as the night kind of goes on, the inhibitions get lower, the pours get bigger and bigger, people kind of get a little loose, and that's kind of what we see. And so that's kind of how we estimate the drinks. And then on top of that, if you guys look at your social schedule in a nutshell, and people say, oh, they don't drink that often, birthdays, holiday parties, holidays, Super Bowls, vacations, graduations, all those kinds of things are typically social events where people are surrounded by alcohol. And even if you just did that per year, that's probably 50 days per year. It's kind of like drinking from January 1st until about Valentine's Day straight through. You got a pretty good buzz going. So that's how we estimate it. And so I guess my question to you guys would be, how realistic are you about how much you're drinking throughout the course of the year? And to give you a quick breakdown of how it works, if your goal is to be ultra lean, you probably have to be really conscious of not only what you eat, but what you drink and how you do it together. Just because for the fact of when you guys do drink booze, you consume alcohol, it's the first thing that gets processed. It's the number one priority in your body. So that's kind of why, like in college or something, if you drank too much, you'd puke because your body's trying to survive. It sees it as like a poison. You've had too much of it, it needs to get rid of it so you don't die. Simple stuff, right? Well, the same thing comes here. Like when you drink booze, fat oxidation is stopped essentially. So basically dietary fat becomes stored in your cells, and so like in your love handles, for example. So when you drink booze, imagine like you drink it, and then your body can't burn off your love handles or the extra butt that you have sitting there. It has to get rid of the booze first. And then once that's all processed, it can go back to burning off your love handles or whatever else you don't like in your body. So just keep that in mind, you guys. Yes, you can be lean if you drink booze, but understand if you're doing it for 3 hours a day every day, just imagine like for those 3 hours on Monday, your body can't burn fat. And if you do it for 7 hours on the Saturday because you're by the pool or hanging out with friends, that's 7 hours your body can't burn fat. And if you add up those hours over the course of a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, that's where people tend to run into a problem, and that's when alcohol makes the biggest impact. On top of that, obviously, like I mentioned before, when you do drink booze, your inhibitions get lowered, you tend to drink more, you start eating things you normally wouldn't eat. If you're up at 2 a.m., you roll through Taco Bell, and life kind of goes downhill from there. So that's my answer. Hopefully that helps you guys. If you're going to drink booze, obviously drink responsibly. It's a personal choice. Just understand there's give and take with it, and have fun with it, and hopefully that helped. Any other questions you guys have, ask below, and we'll be back next week with another series of questions for you.